so much fun. This is so much fun. It was so much fun, y'all. How we doing? How's it going? Yes, I turned on slow mode because I figured out how. Even though I should have done that for like the premiere. I'm going to try to remember to do that in the future so I can stay up to date with the damn chat. How did we like it? How was it? How do we feel? It was so nice listening to it again. It's so good. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm a Ren fan. I'm a renegade, guys. I'm a renegade. Are we looking at the poll? Are we looking at the poll, guys? Are we looking at the poll? The premiere chat was popping. I know. I know. I'm silly, and I didn't think to do the premiere chat as slow-mo. I'm gonna have to try to remember to do that in the future. Thank you. Thank you for the compliments on the look, on the sweater. I'm hoping I don't get too hot, but but I wanted to be cutesy and demure and mindful. It's so cute. I have a different version of this same sweater that's like a dark purple and even more Halloween-y. And I was wearing that and I was like, no, because I need to wear this for Children of the Moon for Halloween. So look forward to that. 34 seconds before we can type again? I mean, maybe I should have the chat be slow mode for the premiere, but not the after live. I think it's like a minute. I want to say it's a minute. A minute between messages. I'll test my... No. Okay, I guess Bob Smith isn't on slow mode. Because he went at it. Yes, Children of the Moon for Halloween for sure. No poll necessary. I'm definitely doing that. 34 seconds. Hey, that's not too terrible. That's not terrible. And this way I can actually stay up to date on what's being said and not have to, like, backtrack. Jellybean can agree about the chat slow mode for premiere versus the live. I want to make... I'm pretty sure I could have did it for the premiere. Maybe I just didn't notice I could do it until I was messing with it for the live. I don't know. Bob, okay, got slowed after the test. 1 minute between. Jellybean, yes. Okay, cool. What? A minute? I will have to do a text wall message then. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, if you're this sad about slow mode, I won't do it for the lives. Okay? I won't do it for the lives. I'll do it for the premiere. I'll do it for the premiere. How did uninvited almost get you fired? Shabby. What? 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 Not suitable for work. Jellybean, I like that I'm a mod, so I'm not in slow mode and all my messages are fast. Uninvited could get me fired any day. Oh. Uninvited is just the most thirsty song ever. See, that's why it was my vote for the poll. Okay? I was like, I talked to my girls, and I was like, okay, I get a vote. I get one of the 4 songs I get to pick. And my pick was Uninvited. Because y'all were really talking it up recently. I think it's the second time I put it on a poll. And it looks like it's still not going to win. Which makes me sad. But that's fine, you know. This is a democracy for the most part. And I did mention Chalk Outlines too, because that was another one that was getting talked up a lot. And people were very disappointed that it wasn't on last week's poll. And we've had a few, you know, weeks of casual, cool, calm, collected songs. So I think it's okay to go into an emotional one. I think it's time and it's fine. So if Outlines wins, then that's cool. But I am very excited about Uninvited, and I would like to listen to it. Oh, I didn't know that Children of the Moon piece yet. Yeah. I don't know if I spoke that out to the universe very much. It may have been in my other streams, but yeah, Children of the Moon is happening the Wednesday before Halloween. Long story best told without a 34-second hold. Yeah, I think you get more people show up for the premiere, so slow mode for that makes sense, but also we're a bunch of chatty feckers, so yeah, true. Yeah, I agree. Maybe there's part of me that feels like I accidentally put it for the live versus the premiere, thinking I did it for the premiere. But, you know. We need a pre-Halloween Animal Flow costume party. I'm just waiting till she gets to Love Music Part 4. He's such a cheeky boy. Of course the girls picked Uninvited. I mean, I picked Uninvited. The top girl did. But they agreed, so. Chalk Outlines is one of the earlier reactions, too. We'll really see more of vocals and finally see Powerhouse Chinchilla. Yeah, I'm super excited about seeing Chinchilla. I've been holding off. I've been waiting. There's no losing answer on that poll. Any of them will be a good react. I mean, it's Ren. It's Ren. So, obviously. Jelly Bean Chalk Outlines is one of the only songs I've listened to without it being during your reactions, and I can't wait for your reaction to it. Aww. Once you do Chalk Outlines, you will start down the Chinchilla rabbit hole. I believe it. I know she's trickier with copyright, though, so. You'll love Children of the Moon, right up your alley. I know, that's what I keep hearing, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Any Ren song is a great song to me, right? I haven't heard a bad one. Also, Chalk Outlines is amazing and beautiful. Nikki, but I still can't pick. Bob, Chalk Outlines is my go-to when I feel like the world is crushing me. Okay. Hey, I ain't a girl, but I'll be whatever Ren wants me to be. Oh, Jelly Bean. Bob, same. I've listened to it so many times. Dang. Jellybean is hailing chalk outlines. Good to know, good to know. Can't wait for you to do patience. I'm pretty sure Sarah recommended patience to me too. I think the last live stream. Yeah, I love chalk outlines and could easily be played on a radio and such, which most of Ren's songs are not really for radio for various reasons. Jellybean's obsessed with chinchilla now because of it. Dang. Dang. Stella, I do think Cujo Beats should be on the dashboard. Like, now that you've heard Sick Boy and know the drama, you should see the takedown. It's a banger. I believe it. I believe it, and I agree. It was like I had to get through this step to be able to get to that step. So, yeah, I'm excited to be able to throw it into the mix, find out when y'all want to vote for that one to make an appearance. The only song I'm not in love with is Make My Way, but even that I still like. Baby Ren was still adorable. An earlier bop, earlier jam. Yep, Sarah coming in. Patience is the one I go to when I need a boost. Y'all, Back on 74 has been stuck in my head since I reacted to it. It's been playing nonstop in a loop. Nonstop. When you do Ren Patience, please do one with me at the end. What do you mean? What do you mean, William? Days. By the way, every time a new Ren song appears, I am hesitating to watch it, not knowing what I'll get myself into. Knowing that I will get myself into something I didn't expect myself getting into that deep. True. I mean, that was a high Ren to me. I had no idea what I was getting into. And then I was a puddle. I was a mess, a puddle mess. Cujo Beatdown is not a diss track, it is destruction. When I'm on a high, it's time for the hunger. I keep getting the hunger a lot too. I put it on a poll. It didn't make it, but I did put it on a poll. I think he's moving to your neck of the woods after winter. Just saying. Y'all threaten me with a good time. Threaten me with a good time that Ren will be in LA. Because baby, baby girl, we will find out where he is. We will go to his shows. We will become best friends and lovers. Back on 74 is always my happy song. It's so good. It's so good. You should do Trick the Fox mashup. Back on 74 is so good. It is. I have my Mariah Carey hand waving going on while stuck in traffic. The people in the other cars are staring at me. Yes, Jellybean. Apparently he is moving to LA. Apparently. The hunger is definitely Ren going beast mode in a small 2 minutes. Love the sound of that. What else did you put it on a poll with? What, the hunger? Let's see. Poll. It was on a poll with Losing It, Animal Flow, and I Shot the Sheriff cover. It was I Shot the Sheriff, Animal Flow losing it, the hunger. You'll be able to find him on Venice Beach amongst the crackheads. I mean, Venice Beach ain't that far. Ren filmed a video or two in LA. Just saying. I wonder what videos. Jerry, I forgot you did an after reaction. Nice. Yeah. We always coming in and hanging out and sometimes decompressing from the emotional ones and other times just, you know, chilling, vibing. I think he's moving to LA. Has been put on hold as he's heading back to Calgary for up to 2 years. Oof. I mean, hopefully he gets better sooner than we expect him to, and he can, you know, continue his plans. Trick the Fox was Ren's first band. Interesting. The Dada diss must be before Cujo Beatdown? Murder Lice? What? There are just so many to choose from. Yeah. I really hate this slow mode BS. I mean, can I change it after the fact? Probably not, right? Probably not. Yeah, we'll probably, maybe still be here in 2 years. If we still have money. Follow me on Patreon. Doda should not have their own reaction, but could be watched before Cujo Beatdown. The acoustic for Murderer, I think, was done in LA. I Shot the Sheriff cover is another one that pulls at my heartstrings. Yeah, I mean, I hear good things about it. You should watch Ren's 8 chapters. I do know that. You'll learn so much about what he went through and his health. Also about how he met Sam Tompkins and about his friend Joe Hughes. Yeah. I was told about the 8 chapters. I do know about that. I have not watched them yet. I don't know if that's supposed to be a reaction or just on my own time. Because I've heard people say it could be either. Murder Lice equals Murderer Live. Okay. Trick the Fox equals Baby Ren. I do like the sound of Baby Ren. Early Ren. You can change it midstream. How? You'll always have a huge list to choose from when it comes to Ren. I feel like Ren is someone who will always be making music. Facts. 8 chapters not really reaction material. It's just Ren telling a story. Got you. Yeah, how do I... I don't know how. Murder Lice is a wild typo. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, wait a second. I know murderer is a thing, but I don't know about murder lice. I don't know about lice that murders. Recommend watching the 8 chapters on your own before a Troubles reaction. His first band, Trick the Fox, really shows how Ren was made for music. The 8 chapters can be either, but they are really emotional. I wouldn't really recommend it. Just honoring his life story in private is for the best. I did see one guy doing the chapters in live streams, broken into 3 parts, but that's the only one. Yeah, I probably won't do a reaction to it, but I'll watch it. The typos were following the Halloween theme and wanted to introduce murderous lice to the stream. Chinchilla Fingers live for Hunger TV for after you experience Renchilla chalk outlines. Renchilla, that's cute. I like that. I like that. How do I change the chat? The chat speed after the fact. Jellybean, can you do it? You're a mod. Can you do it? You will love Fingers Live. You should do Ren featuring Eden, Nash, Humble. Has Humble been on the list? I mean, Humble's on my list, but I don't know if I put it on a poll or not yet. And Ocean. Also, you should do Eden, Nash, new song 305. Jellybean, I could do it, but I have no idea how. Trying to figure it out. Where's Panther at? Panther said that we could do it. Panther must know how. Oh, some of the chapters were utterly heartbreaking to watch. I wanted to crawl through the screen and hug him. Are you going to any cons or fairs soon? No. I want to do, there's this really cool, like, horror exhibit that's around that, like, has, like, photo backdrops from all these different horror movies. I want to do that soon. I've been trying to get Jellybean to go with me to that. But no cons. I'm exhausted from going to LA Comic-Con. September, I did so much stuff in September. Shoo! Spent so much money. But I feel like you spend money to make money, and for me, it's like all content. So I've been really loving going places and making content for y'all to put up on YouTube. And but at the moment, I don't have too much planned. But we'll see. We'll see if that changes. You should check out Ren's 1 million subscriber video on your own time, as well you can learn about what he is all about in that one as well. Yeah, I have gotten that request a lot. People have also suggested to react to the 1 million subscriber video. You had to be there. Oh my god. We're bringing back the traveling bush from a past live stream where I accidentally said the word bush instead of brush. And now it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Do you cut your own hair? I already told you I love it. No, I don't. Because otherwise I would have already cut my bangs at this point. My bangs are getting long. They're getting too long for me. I need to get my bangs cut. I have cut them on my own in the past. But my buddy and my hairstylist is like, no, 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 don't you do that. No, no, no. The Traveling Bush, if you know, you know. Humble and Ocean, both featuring Eden Nash, both great lyric videos. Another wild typo moment. What is the Traveling Bush? You gotta make it to all the live streams because you just never know what, you know, inside jokes are being created, you know? Bob was working on a car, made a comment about mystery fluid. That was a whole thing. I think Harrison was talking about, you know, how they stole this brush from somebody and like was taking pictures of it in different places. So it was technically it was a traveling brush, but when I was reading it, I accidentally said traveling bush, and then it just became, it took on a life of its own. I have to cut my own hair. I mean, I would. I have a lot of wigs, and I cut my own wigs, so. But I haven't worn wigs in a while. Traveling bush is better than wandering bush. I mean, they're basically equal. I guess maybe traveling, there's like a purpose, there's intent. Where wandering, maybe not. Maybe it's aimless. So every other live stream, a new dirty quote is invented in your live chats. I mean, basically, pretty much. Pretty much. I have heathens. I have heathens for followers and friends. Ghosts flashing someone? Yep. Mm-hmm. Jellybean's favorite emote on Twitch is a ghost that lifts up its its sheet and it flashes like a little heart. Like it's like a heart under the ghost. And everyone's just like, oh, Jellybean was flashing me. Jellybean's flashing me. Oh, man. These are the uninvited fans. I know it's from Studio. From what I recall, you select the live stream there. Then click Edit, Customize, Slow Mode. Okay. Content. Live. The current live. Customize. Customization. Oh, all right. Okay, slow mode should be off now. Chat away. We figured it out. Thank you. Thanks, Panther. Everybody thank Panther. Now you can chitty chat as fast as you want. Now I have to go back and make sure I'm reading what I missed while I was doing that. I have so many wigs. I have too many damn wigs. JB was flashing me. You can maybe disguise one of your dogs as a traveling bush on Halloween. We are free. Test. Oh, man. Maybe a 5-second limit instead of a whole minute. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Y'all still need limits on y'all. To catch everyone up, Jellybean flashed her ghost heart, and I spilled mystery fluid on a traveling bush, which was dropping clippings everywhere. The floodgates have opened. Or even 15. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A dog dressed as a traveling bush would be priceless. Do you hear? Oh, I don't even have my pup cam on. I don't have my pup cam on. There we go. Are y'all hearing that they're dressing you? If y'all end up wearing foliage, it's not my fault. It's their fault. We got no treaty treats. No one can contain this chat's immense power to yap. It's a yap chat. I want to make a kid's book about the traveling bush. I bet those parents will love that. Bye, Marcus. I didn't say we were a bunch of chatty feckers. Shabby's cat is attacking your cello. They got some serious beef. I suspect a diss track will be created by one of them. Roughage, not foliage. That's just me speaking out of turn, causing mayhem. So proud. So proud of the traveling bush. I know I could have swore you guys said that you were clipping, that you clipped me, but that clip does not exist. The traveling bush clip does not exist. Or did you mean clip me as in clipping the bush clippings? Hilarious. Hilarious. That clip might be held for ransom. We're all yapping and all proud. I will get a P.O. box soon. I've been putting it off, but I've been wanting to do it for a while. And it literally is just me going and, like, getting it. So a P.O. box will come in the future. And I'll post that over on Patreon once it's set up. Oh, I'm so glad that we're making your day better, Cherry. Yay for the P.O. box. I can't imagine what y'all gonna send. I can't imagine. Fan art of a traveling bush? I'm gonna just get a bunch of bushes in my box. Nobody likes unsolicited clippings. Oh. Bunny with the hugs. All the hugs. You may well regret that P.O. box. I know. But you know, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Embroidery, traveling bush art. I know. How is Tempest gonna send me my traveling bush plushie if I don't have a P.O. box? It's so stretchy. Oh, it's weird as hell. Bush is supposed to be outside the box. You don't know. You don't know. I'm so glad that this chaotic chat is improving everyone's day and their moods. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Traveling bush embroidered Xmas ornaments. Latex gloves for the P.O. box. There are some nasty Stan people out there. You know what? That reminds me. I totally had like a nightmare last night of like some man becoming like obsessed with me and like stalking me and breaking into my apartment. Like it was kind of terrifying. Oh my gosh, ketchup. Ooh, a P.O. box, yes. Also, what chaos have I walked into? It's always chaos, Pat. Always. Always chaos around here. It's a traveling bush. It can travel inside the P.O. box too. Wait, I'm missing stuff. Oh my god, the way you say man. Most of us are actually pretty nice. Most? 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 Barracuda, most? Oh. We're thinking positively today, are we? Chat is bumping today. I mean, because we cut off the slow mode. More of us than many believe. Y'all gonna have to prove that. Y'all gonna have to prove that. We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. Not y'all not all menning in my chat. Not y'all not all menning in my chat. Nice guys don't get the publicity the negative ones do. You know why? Because y'all aren't like fighting the dipshits with us. Y'all are very Oh, bunny. Lots of women are no better too. Good and bad everywhere. We're not gonna play this game, y'all. I will turn slow mode back on. I will turn slow mode back on so fast. So fast. Talking about not all men in my comments. Point me in a dipshit's direction. We support women's rights and women's wrongs. That's the equivalent of, don't make me turn this car around. I don't want to hear the not all men in my comments, in my chats. I don't wanna. I want to hear yeah, those guys are awful. I'm not that guy, but man, that guy's awful. Those guys suck. There's so many of them. There's too many of them. You're right. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear, no, but not me, not us. Don't do shoes. Don't talk about them. There's so little of them. There's too little of them. Like, nah. I mean, if I don't have to listen to another story about like a dude, you know, unconscious, making his wife unconscious so other dudes can take a turn for decades. If I don't have to hear another story like that, okay, we can talk about not all men. If I don't have to hear another story about the paramedic SAing the victim in the back of the ambulance, then we can talk about not all men. There's too many. There's far too many, and the conversation can never be in the direction of, let's not talk about those men, because there's not that many of them. There's so many, y'all. There's so many. There's so many. And of course there's good and bad in everyone. Of course there is. But I feel like men are really vying for an award. And have been for millennia. Millennia. Okay? Good and bad, not news. Well, there are some awful men, and I apologize for that. Yeah. Not only are there awful men, there are men who don't care that men are awful. There are men who claim that they're not that awful. There are men who are like, can you not talk about the awful men? Because it makes me uncomfortable. Like, I don't want it to be made into my problem anymore. You know, like, it should be y'all problem. Y'all can help with the problem. And until y'all help with the problem, I'm going to be mad at y'all. Until y'all prove I don't have to be mad at y'all. I mean, I support good men because they're a rare kind. There's so many bad ones. It's true. I saw this TikTok once. I really loved it because this girl was like, what did she say? She was like, you know, the whole idea of like not all men. And she was like, yeah, not all men, but like all men benefit from men doing bad things. All men, there's, you know, men who claim that men aren't bad, or men who watch men being bad and they just don't say anything, or the men who tell women to shut up about those men because, you know, they aren't one of them and they're feeling a way about it. It's just like, even if you're not a bad man, if you're telling me to be quiet about bad men, you're not a good man. That doesn't make you a good man. Like, the bar for a good man is so low. I think men don't realize that. And it's, you just be mindful. Be mindful. Be demure. And the bad ones are so bad. That part. Nobody said ignore them. We're aware of them. It's just we're usually all blamed for the bad ones. Are you aware of them? Are you? Because you guys are giving me a lot of not all men, and we're cool, and when it should be more like, we feel for you. Because we know, and we're aware, right? Because you're telling me you're aware, but you're not being understanding of the plight. And how do we tell y'all apart? How do we tell y'all apart? Explain to me how we tell y'all apart, because we can't. And a lot of y'all are really good at convincing us that you're a good one, but you're not. And that shit's terrifying. That's so scary. You know how scary that is? Ooh. saying there's good news, bad in every walk of life. See, but that's so, like, that really just kind of, like, is a cop-out. Because at the end of the day, like, it just, like, it never balances out. It will never balance out. Like, and the fact that some of y'all don't understand that is bewildering to me. Our Ren, however, is a credit to his gender. Facts. No one said that men can't, that it's impossible for men to be a credit to their gender. But man, they go out of their way to, like, absolve themselves from responsibility or accountability for the others, you know? And that's not fun. That's not cool for anybody. Oh yeah, in my life I've met, like, many of the bad men. So yeah, I know. Yeah, we all do. It's hard not to meet a bad man, which is why we have to kind of, like, bunch all together until you prove you're not one of them. That's how we keep ourselves safe. That's how we remain safe. What? I'm trying to keep up with chat. The bad get covered up by those who would be seen as good. I mean, yeah. That's very true. That's very true. Talking, communicating about the ugly shit raises awareness. It's what drew me to Ren's music. Period. Keep cooking, Marissa. You're so real. Yeah, my dad was one of the worst, so I do my best to be nothing like him. See, and that is, like, best case scenario, I think. Because a lot of people, I feel like it can go either way. It could go bunny way, like, oh, I saw the worst of the worst, and you made that conscious decision. You're like, that's not me. I refuse. That will not be me. That'll never be me. No. But then there's, like, the other lane where it's like they see the bad dad, and they're like, well, that's me. I have no choice. That's who I was raised by. That's the blood that I have running through my veins. It's inevitable. I'm not going to look too hard inward to do anything about that. Maybe you're misjudging. It may be that the guys had been girls before and no for real. I don't know what that means. As a girly that used to hang out on the streets at 16 because she didn't want to be home, yeah, I've seen a lot of the dark side of people. I can't remember where I saw it, but there was a comedian doing a bit about straight guys who are violently homophobic because they don't like to be treated like women by other men. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people talk about, like, prison, like, that idea of, like, the terror of prison for men is basically being treated like a woman by other men. And it's like, okay, well, you can understand that that women are treated in a way by men that is bad to the point where you wouldn't want to experience that by yourself as your own person, but not enough to be, like, socially aware about it and, like, want to make change and, like, be a part of the progress to eliminate that from society. You know what I'm saying? Do we need flamethrowers for the bad ones? I never said it was balanced for sure. Yeah, I hope not, because it's not. And it never will be, and it never could be. I'm a huge Ren fan, but pay attention to the lyrics. He doesn't uphold a standard that the guys in and around my life uphold. I'm not sure what you mean. Hashtag don't be Screech. Yeah, right? You were talking about the guys don't know. Just imagine that they might understand. I feel like if you're a guy in 2024 who doesn't know, I feel like that's kind of a red flag. I feel like that's more in the vein of you don't want to know, because then it becomes your responsibility. Because it is, you guys, like, this is your responsibility as men existing in the world, is to be mindful and to, like, witness what we as women speak about. If it comes across to you in your life experience, to not just, like, accept it as norm or defend it or ignore it, but to, like, actively participate and involve yourself and be like, oh, this is not acceptable, this is not okay. And now my spouse is the only one that treated me with respect back then too, even though I was delusional and would throw myself at him sometimes. He stood his ground and we reconnected years later. That's how you win a girlie's heart in the long run. I'm loving this, but I have to go. This was fantastic. Thank you. All in the chat. Thank you, Marissa, for sharing this. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for stopping by. All I can say is I've spent much of my life trying to rise above the norm and do right by everyone, even if it was at my own personal loss. In the end, I paved the way for someone else. I think Ren points out the bad behavior so we can deal better about stopping it or changing that behavior. Yeah, I think Ren is definitely doing a service by utilizing the vehicle of his art to have these conversations, to point out right from wrong, to, elaborate and educate, people who might not necessarily be willing to, like, actively seek out that kind of conversation, but instead are like, oh, I like this guy, I like his music, and then they're getting life lessons, kind of against their will, but their lives are made better for it. Watching my wife leave me for her uncle, Bob. I mean, any woman who's leaving you for her relative has her own deep issues. Let me tell you that. Forcing empathy from the vast amount of good people who stay silent. Right. I mean, you can only consider yourself good for so long if you're also just silent. You're choosing to basically decide it's not your problem, it's not your business. If it's not actively affecting you, then it's not something you need to concern yourself with. Was that your neighbor? Yeah. That was my upstairs neighbor. Sorry I fell. I understood the point of Jenny and Screech, and he got a huge pass as Screech and Stevie. I had issues with Cujo Beatdown personally. While I understood the artistic license, those were his words. See, I don't know what that means, because I haven't seen that. There's one evil worse than an evil man, a good man who watches an evil man and does nothing about it. I mean, that's what I'm talking about in a nutshell. Is that idea of like when someone who looks like me wants to have the conversation about men in the general term being terrifying and men who care about me jumping in and saying, not all of us, not me, nuh-uh. When in reality, those men who are jumping in and saying those things know that I'm right, but it makes them uncomfortable because they don't want to be lumped in, which I understand, I do. But I'd rather have that problem than the problem that I have. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather have the problem of being lumped in with people that I don't relate to than to be, constantly fearing for my life and safety at all times because I can't tell the difference between a good person, a good man, and a bad man. Or the man who doesn't care one way or the other, which is not a good man. Like... I'm always shocked by the reactions to Jenny and Screech, especially when it's a man and woman reacting together. I can only imagine, because I haven't watched any reactions to Jenny and Screech, but I would be very curious, to be honest, specifically for that reason. So many women react with horror to the story, while a lot of guys smile through it and just appreciate the bars. Ooh, yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's the reality of, like, our lived experiences not lining up, Thanks for hanging out, Isadora. Cosmic Vagabond Pixie. All beings get angry and use harsh words, but they do not act on those words. Yeah, the Jenny and Screech reactions are rough, especially when it's a guy who's seen it, showing it to a female friend. People don't know others' traumas. Oof, yeah. I will say that I've seen several men reacting that were in tears too. Oh, yeah. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Like, I know that, like, overall, like, men suffer so much trauma. It's just in how they, like, deal with trauma and how they react to trauma. Like, you've got the men who are gonna be better people because of what they've experienced. And I think this goes male, female, non-binary, anybody. It's a lot of times it's like how you respond to the harm that's been caused against you and whether or not that leads you to cause others harm. I mean, I know with my experience is like I've suffered a lot of trauma. I've suffered a lot of abuse. I've suffered a lot of parental traumas. I have a lot of childhood trauma. And I think a lot of times people just look at that and they're like, well, some people can act out, they'll act out or they'll repeat cycles of abuse and trauma versus like seeing what happens to them and consciously making a decision to be like, I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to hurt another person because I am hurt. I'm not going to bleed on other people because I refuse to mend my wounds. Whereas I feel like a lot of times people can go the opposite way where it's like, oh, I was hurt, I was harmed, I'm mad at the world, I'm going to take it out on every single person I come into contact with, especially the people I love, especially my partners. And a lot of time when it's men versus women, like men have the ability to do that more often. Like, it's not as easy for women to do that against a man and like survive and like continuously cause harm, because a lot of times they're less strong. Like, a man can just be like, nah. Like, Violet's Tale is the hardest to watch for me. Made me think of my parents, but thankfully my mom didn't end up like Violet did. Yeah, Violet's Tale was worse for me too, as y'all know. um, I mean, it's so understandable. Like, that's what the tales are just so difficult, because all of it is understandable if you understand. Like, if you can relate, if you've at least seen it, if you've been anywhere near close to that kind of trauma, like, you understand how things can unfold that way. Screech, Violet, Jenny, all of it. I've seen a recent abuse survivor breakdown of the Screech part. I felt that was the brainwashed Stockholm brain reacting to that part. That's why I don't push for people to watch the tales right after High Ren. For some people, it's too much too quickly. Yeah, it's a lot. It's been almost 10 years I've been following Ren reactions, and I still tear up on Jenny and Screech and even High Ren most times. Yeah. I feel like High Ren is just like relatable on such a human level. Like, we all have that voice in our head, just to varying degrees, you know? And how much, depending on how much we've like been beaten down by others and by ourselves, that can really like showcase itself while watching that. But I feel like the tales is a little bit different, because I feel like that's a lot more trauma, abuse related. And I think a lot of other people, you know, obviously there's bound to be a lot of people that have never had any sort of connection to like that kind of trauma before. Okay, Rose. So sometimes people can get through that. I mean, they can understand it from like a storytelling point of view. They might be empathetic enough to be like, oh wow, this is heavy and very descriptive and really good storytelling, and so it's making me feel something, versus like their trauma playing in their mind and being like, oh wow, I relate so much to this and it's devastating and I can't hold back my emotions because of that. I've just slotted myself into chat uninvited. Recently saw Justice Junkies react to Jenny and Screech. Turns out she went through almost the exact thing she talks about, and it was rough. Suggest people check that out and give her love. See, and that's the other thing too. It's like Ren took a very empathetic view towards all the characters in Jenny and Screech. That's what made it so touching. I feel like it's rough for me too. It's like, because I think a lot of times there's something really dismissive in our society, and I think a lot of time it is primarily men. It's not always primarily men, but a lot of times it is. And maybe that is because they are dismissive of their own stuff, so they feel like they have to be dismissive of everything else because they can't even like accept their own stuff. Whereas like you can watch Jenny and Screech and like Violet's story, and I think a lot like that idea, that story, that like, you know, being abused by your partner is often so disregarded in our society. Like, so not believed, not heard, disregarded completely, you know, often blamed, you know, like the whole, well, why are you staying? Well, why did you do this? Why didn't you do that? And it's always like victim blamey, and that just like hurts my soul too. And I feel like that kind of plays into the the issue as well. It's like, so I at least appreciate when people can watch the tales and potentially, hopefully, see stuff in a new light where they wouldn't discount a story of abuse like that when maybe prior to watching it they would have. Hey, Seamus. Finally off the road and able to chat. Hi. Breaking the cycle is why I constantly offer hugs and support. I've seen both sides of the coin and decided it makes life more tolerable by sharing love instead of spreading pain. Facts. There's a lot of love and understanding all over that's just been waiting to flood out into the world. Harrison, you are always invited. True. Very true. Random things can trigger people in so many ways. I can't watch 50 Shades of Grey. I couldn't believe my own reaction to watching it. I can't watch so many things, though, usually. Yeah, triggers are wild. And it really makes me sad that, like, trigger was such a, like, made fun of thing for a while there. Because it's like, if you don't understand that, if you don't understand, like, it, ugh. Because I have triggers, too, like, if you have trauma, your trauma can be triggered. We were having a fun chat and then it got very serious. That's usually how it goes over here. There was a DASA survivor that was posted to the Red subreddit. Her story actually still bothers me. There's some messed up people in this world. Yeah. 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 Group hug. Speaking of uninvited, I can't wait for you. Can't wait until you hear that song. I know. I want to hear it too. That's why I put it on there. I put it on the poll. That was mine. All the hugs in chat. I dedicated 15 years of my life to being a mental health support worker, mainly because I didn't want people to go through the trauma and lack of support that I went through. See that? Yeah. It's like that's the lane a lot of people will go down. Opposite of the lane of like, I'm just going to repeat cycles and like, I was harmed, so I don't care. And I can't deal with the fact I was harmed, so it's going to come out in violent, disrespectful, abusive ways. Why didn't they leave? Because most dangerous time for a DA survivor is when they try to leave. Hug the bush. Hair dead. I watched Just a Junkie too. I don't like how people were criticizing her in the comments though. Sarah changed her vote just for me. She was self-soothing and people took it the wrong way. Ugh. Yes, I agree, Shabby. I think what caused the backlash is that triggered became a buzzword used by so many people, from everything from the wrong kind of ice cream to not liking the color red. It was used flippantly. Yeah. Yep. It was minimized. I'm finally caught up on the chat. You're so chatty chats. Getting caught up on the chat. I made sure to link the poll on the chat. If you guys didn't realize, because my Patreon poll for next Wednesday came out today. I should have posted it yesterday, but I forgot. Frankly, I think the same thing has happened with the word racism or racist. She thinks she caught up to chat. I mean, I don't know if I agree with racism becoming flippant, to be honest. I think it's used a lot because it's something that gets pointed out and that needs to be pointed out as often as it seemingly does now. I think there can be varying degrees of, like, when it comes to, like, appropriation, you know, people are thinking that certain things are appropriation if it isn't, and then thinking that someone is racist because of that, or but I feel like sometimes it can be good for words to, like, really become buzzwords or become part of, like, a bigger discussion because the discussion exists, whereas maybe before it didn't. I feel like it just goes south when it becomes fodder, you know, like trigger became almost like a joke, whereas I don't think racism or, you know, being considered racist is like a joke yet. I mean, maybe it'll get there, hopefully not, but did you ever see the movie Party Monster with Macaulay Culkin? I haven't. It's actually on my list to watch. Because it's with Seth Green too, right? It's Macaulay Culkin and Seth Green. I'm the only one that's voted. I vote chalk outlines. You are not the only one that's voted. I also don't expect people to walk on eggshells around my triggers, but if I set a boundary, I expect people to respect it. And I have very few that I may need to set. Yeah, I feel like that's... Yeah. Yeah, I feel like... I know there was like a period of time where like everyone was kind of like labeling trigger warnings on everything as a means to like try to be protective of people, but it's just like not feasible. But I think as long as you're not doing something disrespectfully or on purpose, or like you said, like going against a boundary that someone has set, you know, that's about as like, this is about as respectful as you can get with it and being considerate. I was trying to be less chatty just to keep it slowed down here. I think there's a sector of humans that likes to turn words used to discuss important issues into cliches. That's highly probable. And I think that is just like one of the many ways to kind of minimize those issues. Because those people who do that are part of the problem of those issues. Because if they weren't part of the problem with those issues, they wouldn't care to demean and belittle those issues. I may be an a-hole, but I do try to be a considerate one. It says 100% one vote. Does it? Chalk outlines is 55%. We enjoy your chattiness, Bob. We do. It's more like, don't bring drugs around me. I will have to remove myself or something. Well, yeah. I think the term safe space is made fun of and really shouldn't. As a teacher who uses it really effectively, I hate that it's mocked. Yeah, I agree. But again, I feel like it's made fun of and mocked by people who are the reason safe spaces are needed. Like it tends to go that way, I swear. It's never just like a cutesy little, meaningless, fun kind of joke. It's actively like, well, this hurts my ability to cause the harm I want to cause, so let me belittle and make the problem what the solution is, Ooh, Jellybean also voted chalk outlines. Yes, with Seth Green. Christina Ricci was supposed to play an old friend of mine in that movie, the club promoter from Dallas, Brooke. By the way, do spiders trigger you? In spite of all spooky stuff, there's no spiders. I mean, spiders don't trigger me. I'm afraid of them. Trigger wouldn't be the word for that. But yeah, spiders, freak me out. I want to be cool and like spiders, and like there is a part of me that can kind of like spiders, can appreciate the aesthetic of spiders, and the fuzzy ones are more cuter. I love those little jumping spiders, but yeah, I don't know. But just like seeing like a big spider randomly in my apartment freaks me out. Or like when I was playing Resident Evil 6 last night, just like a zombie spider or like horror spiders. Scary. They scare me. But they don't trigger me because I don't have trauma aligned with spiders. Bob voted for chalk outlines as well. Master Toy Maker. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to bug you about Harold and Maude. It's on my list. It's on my list. I did react to Frankenhooker. I filmed it. I'm still editing it. It's taking forever. And also, it is so sexy. It's so sexy. It's the sexiest Frankenstein adaptation I've ever seen. And I don't know if that can ever go on YouTube. I don't know. I mean, it's sexy. It's so sexy. So much editing. So much body, yaddy, yaddy. There's also those that think being triggered as an excuse. So if they can, I can too. If they can, I can too. I don't know what you mean, Seamus. I don't know. I feel like if people actually understood what being triggered actually means versus like being upset or disappointed or overwhelmed, like any of the other words that can be used to having like a negative reaction to something, if you actually understood what being triggered actually is, I don't think people would react that way. I don't think people would respond that way. I don't think people would be flippant about it. It's literally, seeing or hearing something that is connected to past trauma that elicits that trauma to come to the forefront, like that you have no control over. It's almost like a panic attack. It's almost like, eliciting a panic attack. And if anyone has had a panic attack, if you understand how awful it is to have a panic attack, you would be more mindful and respectful and understanding to people who are like, hey, this triggers me. This can trigger a bad event for me. Like, I mean, I'll tell you a story. I had my first panic attack was on an airplane. And it's not because I was on an airplane. It was because at the time I started on antidepressants for the first time, and like the night before I didn't sleep at all because I was living in LA, but I had traveled to Ohio, so the time difference, I was like, I'm just gonna stay up, and I had like an early flight, and so I didn't go to sleep, and I didn't really eat anything, and I'm on this airplane, and it's like a 4-hour flight from Ohio to Los Angeles. And about like halfway through the flight, like I think I watched like Inglourious Bastards for a little while, and then I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep, so I like took a nap. And it was after I took my antidepressant, you know, for the first time. One of the first times. I think maybe like the second day I was on it. And I woke up 2 hours into the flight, and I was seated at the door, like the plane door, which was also the first time I've ever sat at the door of a plane. And it was just like hot. And when you're at the door, it's extra loud. And I woke up and I immediately went into a panic attack. Like, had zero control over it, couldn't do anything about it, was hyperventilating, shaking, hot, couldn't breathe. Like, just went literally from asleep to panic in a flight, in the sky, in a tin can, with a bunch of people staring at me. I remember hearing the person behind me being like, oh, I would hate to be her. I literally, like, I mean, I was looking for like a vomit bag so I can like do the breathing in thing, and they didn't have one. I had like stewardesses trying to like talk to me, and they were just like kind of making it worse. And that was like my first panic attack, and it lasted for the entirety of the last 2 hours of that plane ride. And I literally was like, once we landed, I stood up and I was trying so hard. I was like, I need to get off this plane. And everybody around me knew that I was having a panic attack. And of course, you know how when you're landing a flight and everyone just like stands up and is just like in everyone's way and just wants to like get off the plane as soon as possible? Like, that was still the case. Like, nobody cared that I was having a panic attack and needed to get off the plane. Like, and it was literally one of the worst days of my life, honestly. Like, so, and that is like that, in that vein of like, you don't have control over a bodily reaction that you're having. And I feel like a lot of times that is what triggered is like you see something, you hear something, you smell something, like something of your senses is taking you back to some horrific event, and then it's like playing in your head and you have no control, and then your body is just like shutting down over it. Like, it's not being uncomfortable, it's not being, you know, displeased with something, it's not being, you know, upset that can be easily mended. Like, it's a whole different thing. And I feel like a lot of people just don't have a frame of reference of what that actually entails, so they're just like, womp womp. Womp womp. I can't even do fake spiders. I believe she has a spider in her name graphic. I do, because I like the aesthetic of spiders. I just like, I can't have one crawl on me though. I can only have one hanging on my head. Just no clowns, please. Panic attacks are awful. Right, Jelly Bean? My wife's family was victimized 10 years ago, and I can't watch heavy dramas or violent shows anymore. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like something messes with your chemistry, your brain chemistry, you know? And it's just like you no longer can do something you once could, and it literally affects how you move through life, and it's an awful feeling to think that people will look at you and judge you and like mock you for that. Like, yeah, I've seen someone completely paralyzed while having a panic attack. Yeah. It's just like, it's so interesting that like a lot of your functions of your body starts to like shut down because other parts are hyperactive. I think I read once that people suggested like sucking on an ice cube during a panic attack, because there's something with like the cold that kind of like shuts down some other part of your brain that kind of is going haywire during panic attacks. And thanks for hanging out, Bob. The only panic attack I had was almost falling out of the side door of a Wessex helicopter. Ooh. Plus, by the door, you have to save all the people if it goes down. Right, Greg? Like, there was a lot of thoughts going in my head. And it was interesting, too, because, like, my my partner, my spouse at the time, we weren't sat next to each other. It was the first time I've ever been on a plane that, like, the person that I was traveling with wasn't sat next to me. And I was lucky enough that, you know, when the flight started, like, I was at the door. Like, I was at the door. And the person in the middle, like, struck up a conversation. I think his wife was, like, back towards where my spouse was. And I think I was just like, oh, my, you know, spouse is back there. And he had suggested, he was like, do you want me to switch spots with them so that your person can sit here and then I could be closer to my person? And I was like, oh my God, that would be the coolest, nicest, sweetest thing ever. And so I was so lucky. I was so lucky that I could have been halfway through that flight, woke up, had a panic attack next to two complete strangers. So that could have been even worse. And to be honest, like, a huge part of how awful that panic attack was literally watching the face of my partner, because he was so helpless, because he couldn't do anything. Like, he didn't know what to do, and he was just watching me being in complete terror, and he didn't know how to help me, and it was just bad. It's bad going through it. It's bad having to watch people you love watch you go through it. Don't recommend. Highly not recommended. Yeah, cold. Ice cold water in your face calms down the vagus nerve or something. Yeah, I think my partner at the time was like, had ice on my neck. By the time I got off the flight, I had to pee so bad because I was like consuming so much ice and water. Like, also just to like put my mind onto something else. It was like I needed some sort of distraction from what I was feeling and what my body was going through. I would not wish panic attacks on my worst enemy. Me neither. 0 out of 5 stars. 2 thumbs down. Do not recommend. No. No, thank you. I know, I am behind. I mean, I'm at the bottom, but I skipped a bunch. I'm going back up. Pixie loves Harold and Maude. Bullying behavior from bullies? Who would have thought? On the subject of safe places, that's what I love about your Discord. It feels more like home than my home does sometimes. Yeah, I agree. Love it. I was gonna say the jumping spiders. They're so cute. Spiders have 8 too many opportunities to make me ick. You wouldn't like the spider in Lethal Company. There's a spider in Lethal Company? Is that the bad guy in Lethal Company? Lethal Company spiders are creepy. If you haven't seen Harold and Maude, it was my favorite movie when I was younger. Still holds a special place. I haven't seen it. It's on my list. I want to watch it real bad. You can turn on arachnophobia mode and the spider turns into spider in red text. That's so funny. That's so funny. I do love Arachnophobia. It's a good movie. 8-legged freaks. Yeah, triggered isn't the same as upset, overwhelmed, etc. Yeah. People like to think it is, but it's not. Oh no, Harrison's got a house full of spiders. When I turn on the light, they stop running, like they're invisible. People confuse pet peeves with triggers, right? Not a pet peeve. Oh no, I had to decide either watching the ads or listen to what you say. I owe you some sense now. I don't, I feel like if you can skip ads and it still does something. I assume so. What is this chonkers? Explain to me what a chonker is. I haven't had a panic or anxiety attack. Mine make me almost dissociate or make me want to crawl within myself and hide in a corner, and maybe makes me feel like I need to cry for no reason. Do you ever have sleep paralysis? Sleep paralysis? No. Luckily, I do not have sleep paralysis. Triggered, like my Air Force veteran uncle at the gunfire during the military honors at my grandfather's funeral. I swear he jumped so bad I thought he was about to drop to the ground. Yeah, which is why I hate fireworks too, because fireworks are very triggering. Plus, they cause my dogs to go under a couch for a week. I love these live streams. That was an awesome story, and she's not so caught up to chat anymore. I was on a cable, just my feet slipped. Any chonkers near you? What are chonkers? Conkers? What is that? What is that? The traveling conquer? Conquer? Type faster, everyone. Stella's gonna go to sleep. Stella. Horse chestnuts? What? Where did the H come from? I don't know. I like chonkers. Buckeyes. Chonker. That's what I call Jelly Bean's cats. Chonkers. I have no idea where she got the H from. Alright, conquer? I don't know how you guys pronounce it. Conquer? Seonkers? Chonkington, good boy. He's a 40-pound small dog. See, Jelly Bean's cats are chonkers. Chonky chonkers. Alright, I made it to the end of chat. Is a sparrow? We're talking about birds? And Jelly Bean and I were thinking Buckeyes? Chonkington, good boy, is the best name ever. After a quick Google search, yes, they are what you call Buckeyes. I'm so confused. Are we talking about birds or are we talking about Buckeyes? Confused. And where did that even come from? Where did this even come from? We are from Ohio, home of the Buckeyes. Even though I don't eat Buckeyes. I don't do that. I don't do none of that. Because aren't Buckeyes, isn't there something with peanut butter with Buckeyes? I don't like peanut butter. See you later, Barracuda. Horse chestnuts. Conkers equal Buckeyes. The birds were a Monty Python reference. Okay. I have not played it, no. I mean, I know Monty Python, but I don't know just random. Where is even the reference? I just saw someone talking about. A sparrow could grasp it by the. You shouldn't eat actual buckeyes. I think they're poisonous. Yeah, but they make like something that like looks like a buckeye. Like they call buckeyes that are a food, right? Yeah, the chocolate peanut butter things. Made to look like buckeyes. Road apples? Soak them in vinegar, cook them, and win. Are they poisonous or are they not poisonous then? Are y'all talking about the same thing? I don't know. I don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm just here for the ride. Did y'all like my LA Comic-Con video? If y'all saw the Patreon? Harrison's lost. I'm lost too. I'm just here. Just here. Varnish? We're varnishing buckeyes? Oh, do you hit each other with them? Drill a hole in them, thread it on a shoelace with a knot to stop it from falling off? What do you do with it? Take turns and try to smash the other person's conquer with yours. Seems dangerous. Something that would have been outlawed. I don't think I've watched the LA one. Jellybean said you should watch. It was a good time. I'm surprised that I edited it as fast as I did, to be honest. It's probably the fastest I've gone from like filming something to posting something. I watched some of it, broke my heart seeing Richie all confused and how horrible you felt, and how uncaring her people looked. Yeah. I was glad that at least she was, nice about it. I was really glad that she was like, no, when I was like, I'm sorry. Because if she had been like, you should be sorry, I would have been like, no. Like, no, I'm so sorry. Please don't be mad at me. Don't hate me. I love you. It reminds me of like when I first visited LA, I went to this restaurant called Chibo, which I'm pretty sure doesn't even exist anymore after the lockdown. And we were sat at a table directly next to Charisma Carpenter, who was Cordelia Chase on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I wanted to say something to her so bad. But like, I knew we were not in the place. It was not the place nor the time. To be like, I love you, I'm a fan, hi, can I get a picture, can I get an autograph, can I whatever, can I interrupt your dinner? So I was like, no, I'm not gonna say anything. And I was there with like my mom and my partner at the time, and my mom was like being my mom about it, and I had to keep stopping her. I was like, don't say anything to her, do not acknowledge the fact that like she's a celebrity, like don't do not embarrass me, because I was just so certain that she would end up like hating me, and I'd just be one of those people that she met at a restaurant that was a fan that was just like an asshole that didn't understand that she's not at a convention. They're ready to meet and mingle with people, and like, I didn't want to do that. It's banned in schools now. Yeah, because it seems like something that could take an eye out. You could take a knife into the classroom, but not a conquer. Whatever. I don't know. I don't like saying that word. I saw your Harry Potter tour thing. Okay, John. My Warner Brothers tour. I find it interesting to call it a Harry Potter tour. I feel like Harry Potter was such a short little part of it, but yes, yeah. The WB tour. Good night, Nikki. Oh, it's Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. I was impressed with the way you used slow motion in the Are You Afraid of the Dark video, and the audio on that interview was really good. The audio, like, from the actual, the audio meaning the music, or the audio meaning, like, the panel? Yeah, I wanted to use slow motion because I film everything and it's, like, so quick, and I kind of have to, like, pick and choose what is, like, shown quickly and what's actually, like, focused on. And some of the stuff I wanted to remember. Like, I wanted to be able to show certain people's booth names or stuff that I thought was really cool. So yeah, I'm trying to get more into the editing thing and, like, do a little bit more than just, like, slapping the footage next to each other. Oh, thanks, David. Seamus, Chibo is not only still open, there's multiple locations around LA. Really? Because I think the location that I went to in West Hollywood is not open, or it hasn't been open, and I think it might be for sale. But I didn't know it was like a multiple locations vibe. That's cool though. I liked that place. I'm so happy that all the celebrities I've met have all been way cool and down to earth, and I've met a lot. Yeah, I've had some not so pleasant experiences meeting people. Good night, sausage fingers. Did you ever consider playing Command and Conquer on your channel? I don't know what that is. I only said Harry Potter as I just lived down the road from the studios here. Oh, John's an LA person? Seamus is from SoCal. We got some LA, SoCal peeps. The panel. Okay, cool. Yeah, I used the camera that I'm filming on right now. I hated the angle that we got, but, like, whatever. And that was literally just the mic that's built into this camera. Like, I didn't even use the mic that the camera came with. So I was impressed by that too. I love this camera. Like, I would recommend this camera to everybody. It's the Osmo Pocket 3. I love it. I mean, if I was to say that tour was anything, it's a Gilmore Girls tour. But that's only because I love Gilmore Girls. I'm currently watching Gilmore Girls, and I feel like most of the backdrop of most of the settings of that video was Gilmore Girls. Well, I guess it's all pretty divvied out. I think a good chunk is like Friends, a good chunk is Gilmore Girls. You got a chunk of like DC, a chunk of Big Bang Theory. I feel like Harry Potter, well, there was a chunk of Harry Potter too, so yeah. I used to deliver printed backdrops to the studios there. That's cool, Harrison. Had to hand your phone in at security. That makes sense. Can't be taking little snappy snaps and selling them to the tabloids. I love having California peeps around. If we ever do like a meetup, you'll have to come and hang out. Yeah, I've heard that. A lot of people say, don't meet your heroes, they might let you down. Yeah, true. Night, Sarah. Oh my god, I love Gilmore Girls. Same. It is Gilmore Girls season. I'm already like, I started my rewatch, I don't know, a few weeks ago. I'm already on season 6. I mean, nothing beats early seasons, though. We spent most of the time taking in the Gilmore Girls stuff, I think. Yeah. I mean, that's why we really went. Yeah, I feel like you went around the Gilmore house multiple times. Yeah. Yeah, I was excited about going to Lorelai and Rory's house because I had went to the WB tour before in like 2017, 2016, 2017, and they did not take us to the Gilmore Girl house, so I didn't get to see that the first time I went. So I was really excited to see that this time. The studios are massive. That they are. No snappy snaps. The WeHo one appears to be open, does it? I feel like when I like drive past, I always make a point to like look over there. I feel like I saw a for sale sign or something. Maybe it's like the building right next door or something. A meetup one day would be so fun. It really would. Totally game for a meetup, schedule permitting. Yes, early seasons rocks. Yeah. And a meetup would be mint. I went there for an award ceremony and got so drunk. I would love to work at a studio. I would love to work. I mean, even watching the people doing the tour, like I would love to be a tour guide for a studio. I think it would be so fun. But I have high maintenance dogs that would lose their crap for me being out of the house that long every day. But it would be really entertaining. Especially because like I'm such a movie, TV show nerd that it would just be fun to like gush about movies and TV shows all day to people and hang out on a studio lot all day. I delivered there and got lost going to a certain set I was delivering to. Drove around for 30 minutes, finally got chased down by security in a golf buggy. That's so funny to think about. It would be so fun to do. Right, Jellybean? Yeah, my step jerk worked in the industry, so that's how I got to go and be on a lot of sets and rap parties and meet a lot of celebrities. So you weren't even doing like conventions. You were like in their environment. That's interesting. The security there is mental. Have you consumed much of the American Horror Story series? I have watched the first handful of seasons. I have not seen. Let's look at the. I haven't seen the. American Horror. I have. What do they have like those seasons? I've seen season 1, season 2. I haven't seen season 3, which I feel like is probably one I really need to watch. I haven't seen season 4, the carnival one. I haven't seen 5. I've basically seen season 1, season 2, and I did watch the most recent one too. The one with Kim Kardashian. Which... I was like really into it, and then I just kind of fell off. I need to get back into it. RHPS, what is that? Yeah, up close and personal. American Horror Story 1984. I saw like someone posted like a scene from that, and I loved the scene that I saw. I really want to watch that one. You stopped watching around season 6. Yeah, I wish they had like the names of the seasons. They don't have like the names of the seasons on here. Yeah, I want to watch Coven because I feel like that is like right up my alley. I know there's a carnival one too, which, you know. And then there's like the one with Lady Gaga. Well, which one's 1984? Isn't that like a camp or something? Is it season 9? Looks like they're in the woods in season 9. Maybe it's season 9. Camp Redwood. Yeah, maybe I should get back into those. Because there's so many seasons, and I love a good binge. Hammer House of Horror Movies. Proper dummy and as a kid. Oh, Rocky Horror Picture Show. 20th anniversary of the 20th Fox lot. That would be cool. I was thinking I was like Real Housewives or something. My dumbass. Yeah, season 9 is the one. Yeah, I think I'll probably end up watch Coven in 1984. I don't know. Well, I'll have to see. I'll have to see. Google Hammer House of Horror. It's a great cover. Okay, that Dracula does look familiar. I haven't seen it, but I know it's like iconic though. Is it on Amazon Prime? Might be on Amazon Prime. Quartermast in the Pit. Proper old school horror. Put it on my list. Put it on the list. Hammer House of Horror. Yeah, Christopher Lee, yep. Man, I'm getting like the sour sprinkly thingies that are on here all over my desk. Oh well. Whatever. From the yank and shake. Do love me some Vincent Price. Yank and shake. Oh, bunny. Oh, bunny. Oh, Benjamin. Oh, yeah. Murder drones? It was like a cartoon. Spooky cartoon. Yeah, it looks entertaining. Like a robot with fangs. I thought you were going to launch a tooth at the camera. Do not waste your time on Slaughterhouse. It's not even bad enough to be worth it. Yeah, I did see that, like, as a thing that exists. But it didn't really intrigue me. I do need to get into some spooky stuff, though, because it's October. We need to be doing some spooky stuff. I love Rob Zombie. I love House of Thousand Corpses. It's such a good movie. Devil's Rejects is okay. I haven't seen the other one. His Halloween is... I think House of Thousand Corpses is his best movie ever. I am doing Children of the Moon for Halloween. I mean, if there's a video clip, that it will be there too. Three from Hell, that's the one. I liked his monsters. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it. Give me Sherry Moon Zombie in anything and I'll take it. Give me Sherry Moon Zombie as freaking Lily Munster. Taking it. Gimme. 31 is a crazy good movie of his. I have not seen 31. But I feel like it's been recommended to me. What's a zombie movie? And it's got my girl Sherry Moon in it. I like the Evil Dead movies and Army of Darkness, Bruce Campbell. Yeah, I like the Evil Dead movies too. Yay, Children of the Moon. Yes, yes. The Wednesday before Halloween, I'm doing Children of the Moon. For sure, absolutely. For sure, for sure. It's like, I know I've seen Army of Darkness, but I don't think I've seen it as much as Living Dead. I need to get into like those again. Maybe do like commentary or something. Evil Dead. Last zombie movie I saw was Zombieland with a damn zombie clown. Hell no. You lost me for a bit because I was playing Hamster Playgrounds, decorating for Halloween. Fun! That sounds fun. I don't know what Hamster Playgrounds is, but decorating for Halloween is fun. I mean, the zombie clown isn't that bad in Zombieland. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I guess it's bad if you don't like clowns. Just as is. Bruce Campbell is a ledge. Yeah. Yep. I always liked him in Bubba Hotep. It's still a clown. It is. It's true. It's true. It's true. Cosmetics for the hamsters and mini games. I've seen Jennifer's Body. I've seen Warm Bodies. I think I've seen Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I think I've seen Cooties. I want to say I've seen Cooties. I'm pretty sure I've seen Cooties. Harrison, no Sims. Hate Sims. Why do you hate Sims? What's wrong with Sims? I'm pretty sure I've seen it. Unless I'm getting it confused with a different zombie kid movie, which I could be. Mini games for hamsters, like a tiny Monopoly board and such. It is my most favorite book and miniseries. Read it when I was like 9. I could totally relate to the characters, and of course, ick to Pennywise though. Do you like the new It's? The new It movies? They canned an online MMOGR or RG game called Earth and Beyond so they could upgrade The Sims. Is that a reason to hate The Sims though? The Craft is a famous Coven classic. Oh my god, I love The Craft so much. One of my favorite movies. Don't get me wrong, the idea of hamsters wearing party hats is freaking adorable. Oh, I love the original It. The original It is great. But I was wondering if you have seen the new ones. No, I will not watch the new It. That clown is way too freaky looking for me, so yeah, big no. That's so funny. There is like a scene where he does like this dance, which is supposed to be scary, but I think it's hysterical. It's so funny. Like it just, for me, it just breaks the whole scariness down, and I'm just like, this is hilarious. Like, why? Why did they think that this was going to be scary? Shaun the Dead. Shaun the Dead is classic. Classic. Love Shaun the Dead. I was bummed I didn't see it in theaters when it came back to theaters, like, last month, I think. Hamster ball. I like the 28 films. Like, 28 weeks later or whatever. 28 weeks or... I always get those movies and the Sandra Bullock 28 Days, I think, movie confused. Both good, both good. Oh yeah, I love the original. Yeah. Shaun the Dead is a classic. So good. So funny. Love the Canelo trilogy. Kids know about It the Clown at school even if we don't show them till we know they won't be traumatized and require psychological therapy. 28 days, 28 weeks, 28 years. Yeah, what's the Sandra Bullock movie? It's like where she goes to rehab for 28 days. Where are all of her? Okay. Yeah, 28 days. 28 days with Sandra Bullock. picturing dodgeball with hamsters now. Best named B-horror movie is Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bowl-orama. That sounds great. I know. We all hate my neighbor. We all hate him. I hate him too. I do. Hate him so much. Not a fan. Not a fan. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Simon Pegg just done a short where he recreates the walk to the shop in Shaun of the Dead. He even does the trip. Oh, I want to watch that. Okay, hey, or Rose, shut up. We know he's out there. It's fine. It's okay. We'd all prefer he wasn't, but we can't do anything about it. Boo at the neighbor. Yeah. Big boo. Big boos at the neighbor. I don't know what he's doing out there. Chit-chatting. Chit-chatting on his back deck, I guess. Back porch. Upsetting my dogs. I know, that's what he's doing. He's upsetting my dogs. Girlies, you kind of settle down. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Ooh, somebody said they always found chinchilla to be a bit screechy. Oh, oh shit. Kick him in the shin. Night Bunny. I can hear him all the way over here in Liverpool. Autopsy of Jane Doe is a good dead flick. That sounds familiar. Harboring dark secrets. I added it to my list. I do love Brian Cox. Brian Cox is in that. Oh, the Babadook is under More Like This. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Love the Babadook. Dook, dook, dook. Oh, and It Follows. Love It Follows. Excited for the sequel coming out. I think it's gonna be called like They Follow, maybe, or something. I've only heard Chinchilla with Genius Wren. I love the songs How to Be Me and Chalk Outlines. I mean, that's the first time I've heard anyone say anything remotely negative geared about Chinchilla. And I don't even know if it's negative, but really, they have Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan. Is he? Is he? Is he though? I mean, y'all are upset about the It Clown. Have any of y'all seen Terrifier? I haven't watched Terrifier yet, but it's a lot of mixed feelings, mixed reviews. But if y'all don't like scary clowns, I think I think maybe Terrifier's not it for you. I personally have like 120 horror flicks, and that doesn't count like the Halloween series, Friday the 13th, Evil Dead, Gremlins, Insidious, Conjuring, Stephen King, Hellraiser. Night Days. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is on my list. I really want to see it. I have not seen it. I know I need to see it. I want to see it. I love that episode of Angel, the series, Smile Time, because they do like a bit from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which I didn't even know was from Killer Clowns from Outer Space until I saw a clip of it. And I was like, oh wow. Angel doing Killer Clowns is great. Yogurt at 2:35 a.m. I was seeing what new and upcoming horror movies and shows are coming. I guess there's going to be a new Salem's Lot, which is interesting. Another VHS is coming out. Teacup. I saw someone like promoting the movie. Oh, it's a TV show. TV show Teacup in like LA live. A live promotion where this dude was just like spray painting Teacup on the side of like a billboard. I will never forget Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Haven't seen it in over 30 years. Oh my god, I love Mad Crush on Fred from Angel. Fred! I've met her. Amy Acker is gorgeous, stunning, beautiful. Just wonderful human being. Love Winifred. Love! Love! Like, I can't deal with, the episode. The episode. You know the one. If you know, you know. The episode where Illyria comes. Oh, wow, I wish they would start making new kick-ass movies instead of keep making remakes. I know. It's very lazy. Oh my god, I would trade everyone I've ever met to meet her. You are so lucky. I met her the same day that I met Amber Benson, Tara from Buffy, and I want to say, I think maybe Drusilla also that day. That was a good day. I went to like a Chicago Comic-Con and met them, and they were like all lined up next to each other. It was really cool. They even remade The Crow. Yep. Yep. It's funny because they remade The Crow with the guy who plays the clown in It. Like, you wouldn't have seen that. I feel like you wouldn't see that coming, you know? You wouldn't see that being, like, the same person. I wouldn't think that. This is me. Oh yeah, Fred is a cutie. She starred in some other things. Yeah. Love her. Love Amy Acker so much. She was also in a few episodes of Suits. I was so excited when I saw her. I was like, ah! Hilaria. I haven't heard that name in ages. Got goosebumps. If you know, you know. I love Illyria too, but like, I would have been okay with never meeting her. Never meeting her. I would have been fine. I would have been fine with that. I haven't watched Sandman, but I love the comics. I read the comics a long time ago. Death, that's my girl. Death is my girl. I want to watch the show. I want to get a death tattoo, specifically from the comics. I really do. I think that would be sick. Tim Curry was the best. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Facts. She's in some Hallmark movies too. I think I knew that. I don't know if I've seen any of her Hallmark movies though. I haven't watched the Sandman show because there's like a part of me that's just like, are they gonna do it justice? Can you do it justice? Like, I don't even know how they make that into a show. But I bet it's good. I wouldn't be surprised if it's good. Remade The Crow. Look what they did to our boy Eric. Dear gods. I know, I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to like remake movies where like the guy dies. Man, I know some not so good stuff been coming out about Neil lately, though. Not good. It's like you just can't. It's like you can't trust a man. You can't trust a man till they prove otherwise. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like every time I like stan some man, it comes out that he's like a monster. It never fails. It never fails that there's some man monster in like everything I love, and it just really breaks my heart. Like Beetlejuice, like Lydia's dad in Beetlejuice, he's an abuser. Neil Gaiman's an abuser. Joss Whedon's an abuser. Like, they're either an abuser or they defend an abuser. And I'm so over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. Imagine if they remake Harry Potter and people in the future forget about the original movies. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Ferris Bueller, yeah. I know, it's so hard. It's like, in order to love things, you really have to, like, compartmentalize. Because otherwise, there's nothing left. Like, like I can't watch Buffy if I don't want to watch an abuser, because there's abusers in Buffy. Abuser made Buffy. Like, It's just like nothing is sacred, nothing is safe. It makes me sad. If I think too hard about it, it makes me sad. And I feel like a lot of times it's like, oh, we'll separate the art from the artist, which I think there is possible, you can possibly do it in some cases, but I feel like other cases you can't. It's like, it depends on how much the artist is involved in the art, I think. And, you know, how much you're willing to, like, you know, line their pockets, which is hard pill to swallow. Like, I don't want to line any abuser's pockets. I don't. But yeah, it's hard for me, like, if it's like a musician, can't do it. Cannot do it. If it's like, you know, someone who made a show, you're like, okay, well, hundreds of people made this show. So many people are part of the show that, like, you can watch a show and appreciate all the things that show is because so many people who aren't abusers helped make it. So there's like a line. But it's like, okay, well, if the abuser is like a star, it's so difficult. And sometimes I'll be like, okay, well, I'll watch Buffy because, like, okay, well, that person hasn't abused people yet. Like, he goes off to abuse people in the future. Like, sometimes the art reflects the artist. So, I mean, even, like, you know, I love Beetlejuice. I love Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, Danny Elfman. Danny Elfman's an abuser, too. Like, and I loved Danny Elfman. Like, he has his little hands in so many things that I love so much. Like, but I'm like, at least I don't have to look at his face. At least I don't have to look at his face. I don't know the extent of what happened with Neil, especially with Amanda. I think there's something there, but I know there's at least like 3 other women who have accused Neil of SA, so. And there's multiple women who accused freaking Danny Elfman, and bottom line, like, I feel like a lot of people would be like, you know, innocent till proven guilty, blah, 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 blah. For me, like, I feel more comfortable potentially believing a liar than believing an abuser. Like, that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel about it. That's just how I feel. That's how I can sleep at night, is I would much rather support someone who potentially is lying about abuse, which is so rare, than someone who is lying about being an abuser, which is a lot less rare. Hey, Renegade Master! The Illusionist. Edward Norton and Jessica Biel in a ghostly love story. The Illusionist. That sounds familiar. God, why does Edward Norton look so funny with that goatee? Why are you looking funny? Turn of the century Vienna. And they're doing, like, in LA, they have movie screenings at cemeteries, like at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. They do movie screenings, which I have been to. Like, I saw Clueless at the cemetery, not during a spooky season, but and you know, Cher herself was there, and it was awesome and epic. But it was before I got my dogs, and now, like, I want to go and see spooky movies, but I can't because my dogs would be so mad. My dogs would be so mad if I left them alone for that long a period of time. And it just bugs me. Ren was named after Ren from Footloose? For real? That's so funny. That's so funny. I guess his parents really loved Footloose, huh? I'm pretty sure I've seen American History X. Yeah. It's been a really long time, though. But yeah, Edward Norton looks so different in that movie. Harrison, I don't know. I'm just thinking he might be. So he might not be then. Yeah, it's definitely not one of those movies you just like casually watch whenever you feel like it. I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me if he was, to be honest. You're hilarious. You're ridiculous, Harrison. You're ridiculous. Idle Hands is one of my favorite movies. Idle Hands was my bisexual awakening, y'all. Like Devon Sawa and Jessica Alba together. Woo, girl. So good. It is such a good Halloween movie. And it has like the pinnacle of like the perfect Halloween dance. It's such a good movie. It's so good. Like the intro is so good. It's just so good. Devon Sawa was so good in that movie. Like I could talk about Idle Hands all day long. If you haven't seen Idle Hands, you need to see it. Idle Hands. It's a movie where a guy's hand becomes possessed. It's so good. It is stoner, iconic Halloween. So good. Man, I really want to watch it now. I met one of the guys from Idle Hands. It's not Seth Green, it's the guy who has his head cut off. And he's really nice. He's a nice guy. His name is Eldon Henson. He's a nice guy. Idle hands kill. He does not have idle hands. He works too much. Yeah, there are way too many movies to keep up. That's. I was just looking at the IMDb page because I've just been IMDbing these movies, and it's Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 is in Idle Hands. He's a window server at the Burger Jungle. That is hilarious. He's not even in the band because the band in the movie is freaking whatchamacallit. Oh my god, I can't think of the name. Oh, I can't think of the name. It starts with an S. Ah, I used to love them. Offspring. Doesn't start with an S. There's an S in there, but The Offspring is the band in Idle Hands. Gotta watch Idle Hands. Seriously. Like, everybody, we're all watching Idle Hands tonight. Everybody watch that damn movie. It's so good. Way too many everything in the world to keep up with. Yeah, true. Soft Spring. They should change their name to Soft Spring. And now I know that there's a band called Idle Hands. Didn't know that. Okay, puppy dogs. Hello, puppy. Hi, Floofy. Floofy dog. You're just staring at me. Staring me down. I have to locate it first, and I'm mid Dexter episode right now. Dexter. Oh, dang, it's on Pluto TV. The movie In Time. With Justin Timberlake. With JD. Oh, Amanda Seyfried. I love her. In a future where people stop aging at 25 but are engineered to live only one more year, having the means to buy your way out of the situation is a shot at immortal youth. Interesting. Idle Hands is on Pluto. I was surprised. I was surprised to see Pluto TV as Idle Hands. Because I watch Addams Family on Pluto TV every day. Well, I mean that's a place to watch it if you guys want to watch Idle Hands. It's free on Pluto. You literally just go to the IMDb of Idle Hands and click on Pluto. Everything is free on effing Pluto. Pluto's free baddie. Oh man, they got the Addams Family movies. They got Coraline. They got Scary Movie 2. Ooh, this month only they have The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Talking about Strawberry Fields Forever, Across the Universe, doing Beatles. Talking Beatles now. Prefer to watch stuff on my TV mostly. Not sure if Pluto is on there. I watch Pluto on my TV, but I have like Roku, so they have the app on there. I'm halfway through Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh, thanks for hanging out, Master Toy Maker. Yeah, The Exorcism of Emily Rose does have Dexter's sister slash romantic love partner. Yeah, that face that she makes, Jennifer Carpenter, in The Exorcism of Emily Rose, where it's all distorted, and like people were like, they had to have edited it, but it wasn't edited. Like she did that. She literally contorted her face. It's epic. You should definitely see The Exorcism of Emily Rose if you haven't, just for that scene alone, bro. That makes me want to watch it again. It says Jennifer Carpenter's audition was so convincing and scary that the director decided to cast her right then. You know, it's not colder. I just wanted to wear my cute little spooky sweater. So I've been like, but at least it's like a crop top. So I'm like, it's not, you know, so warm. What is the temperature right now? The temperature right now is 63. Sweater weather? Sweater weather? Probably not, but I'm doing all right, so it works out. I can see you scrolling in the mirror. You mean in Frankenhooker? Scroll. Probably hear my scrolling too. I love that sweater. I'm excited to show you guys the sister of this sweater for the Children of the Moon reaction for Halloween. It's super cute too. What's that in Celsius? You know, I wonder if it will tell me. Seventeen in Celsius. Yours looks colorful tonight. Yeah, usually, you know, I'm in all black usually, but I do have leggings on that have skeleton legs in little crystals, so that's cool. I'm still spooky. Still spooky. Very spooky, but colorful. Yeah, I mean the Frankenhooker. Practical Magic. Practical Magic is so good. It is iconic October viewing. If you haven't seen Practical Magic, you need to watch it. Is 93 there, Seamus? Damn. Can't wait for that, both the twin sweater and the genius red. Right? It's going to be a good combo. It's going to be a good combo that day. It's 6 Celsius here. Still t-shirt weather though. And I love looking at IMDb trivia. It's one of my favorite things to do. Because I'm a nerd. Similar to Shaun the Dead, Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. That sounds familiar. — 2015. Why does it look older than 2015? I guess they just made it look old. Or is it like a timepiece? Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Zombie. Love movie trivia. Me too. Love playing the movie trivia games. I think it's made to look old. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. There's something in like the images, the trailer image that looks kind of vintagey. I gotta show you this image. This image. This image is hilarious. Hilarious. So funny. So funny. I need to see that just for that scene. I wanted to look at practical magic trivia. Snow's out, guns out. That cat. Yeah, the practical magic house. You always see that meme where it's like, you know, girls don't want whatever, they want the practical magic house. Accurate. I find it so funny that so many iconic movie houses are like made, built up facades that are just torn down. Like, how dare y'all not build these actual houses that can just like exist and be utilized in future like stuff, you know? Like, knowing that the practical magic house doesn't exist is just really sad. It's sad. Did you watch The Addams Family before you went to Comic-Con? I do that if I need inspiration for something to ask the guest. I did not watch it before going. But also I didn't have time to ask her anything either, so I guess I could have tried to ask a question during the panel, but I was just too far back and didn't want to like scoot my way forward since they were like filming people who asked questions. Oh my god, that house. I want that house. Definitely. Yeah. I know. It's like the number one trivia under Practical Magic is the entire house was a specially built architectural shell that was torn down after filming. It was built on rented land, and even the blossoms on the trees are fake, made of silk. Devastating. I mean, even the Beetlejuice house, you know, the Beetlejuice house was just a facade that they built up and tore back down. Crimes of the Heart. Crimes of the Heart. The Diane Keaton movie? Like, there's multiple Crimes of the Heart. Oh, that, yeah. That's a cool looking house. I love that the Buffy house is a real house. And it's like 45 minutes from me. And that the woman who lives there was nice enough to like they had a like Sunnydale convention this year, and she like opened her house, and they did like a raffle where you could like win a tour, and like a group of people got to go and tour Buffy's house, and like they sat in the backyard for like a little panel and stuff. I was so jealous. I was so jealous. I want to do that. And it's down the street from like the Buffy high school. Yeah, I also love like the Charmed house. The house from Charmed is also a real house. Luckily, it's not in San Francisco where the show is based in, but it's in LA. It's not very far from me. And the people who own that house like live across the street. And if you've seen Charmed, like you know that street has like a lot of really beautiful houses in it, on it. And they live in like one of those really nice houses right across the street, and they rent it out. And so someone gets to like live in the Charmed house, like renting it as like an apartment. I'm so jealous. Like, why can't that be me? But I think they've been known to like see people go and like take their picture, like take a selfie in front of the house and like ask them if they want to come inside, and they'll like just let you go and tour the house. Like, sick. Love that. The Charmed house is so awesome. It's so beautiful. And it's just as gorgeous in person. Yeah, I know the Goonies house is real. But aren't the people, like, some people in these houses, they don't like the fact that they live in famous houses. Wasn't the Goonies house one of those houses that they, like, tried to, like, put, like, tarps and stuff up to try to, like, keep people from taking pictures of their house and stuff? I know, I recently found out this year that the house from the Freddy movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, that house, it's a real house. It's also in LA. It's not far from me. And apparently it recently sold because Bo Burnham owned it, which, holy crap, how did I not know that Bo Burnham owned it? And he filmed inside in the little ADU that's in the backyard of it. But I guess he sold it to a man who, like, hates the fact that people come up and take pictures of it. And, like, he will, like, accost people on the sidewalk for taking pictures of his house. Have you met Rose McGowan? I haven't. I have not, which really sucks. But I have, like, kind of communicated with her, and she follows my other social media, like, my bigger social media account, because I did, like, an art photo edit thing for her for, like, this event that she was doing in, like, 2021 or 2021 or something. So we know of each other. She, like, knows of me, which is kind of cool. But I haven't met her in person, though. I know that they did a Jawbreaker, like, reunion for, like, the anniversary this year. I really bummed I didn't go to that because it, like, sold out before I remembered to get tickets. But she actually wasn't there for that, though, which sucks. But, like, everybody else was. I know she does a lot of conventions. I know that she's been doing, like, Charmed panels and stuff. Like, I would like to see a Charmed panel. That would be cool. I have met Holly Marie Combs and Brian Krause. I haven't met anybody else. I didn't meet Shannon Doherty. And I don't like Alyssa Milano. I haven't met her, though. Of course, I know the Lost Boys. Yeah, the people that own it now do not like visitors asking questions and taking pictures. Yeah. I feel like you have a due diligence as somebody who owns a famous house. Like, you should be, I mean, you don't necessarily have to, like, let people into your house, but you should be able to, like, participate in, like, the funness of having a famous house. Like, it really bothers me when people buy these houses and, like, don't care or blatantly, like, aggressive about it. Like, come on, guys. Come on. Be mindful. Be demure. I think there's another one. I'm trying to think of what other house. Someone was just, like, not having it. And I'm like, why did you buy this house? Who was it? Yeah, my dream is to own the Buffy house. I would love to own the Buffy house. Like, I even have, like, a realtor, like, alert on the Buffy house. Like, I have an email I get that tells me, like, when it goes up and goes down in value and stuff. And I can't afford it. I could never afford the Buffy house. It's like $1.3 million worth. But I want to own it, and I want to turn it into a museum. Pretty sure you'll get the chance. She does a lot of cons. Yeah. I'm glad that she's doing more cons. Like, I feel like there was a period of time where she wasn't, but now she is, so that's really cool. I don't think I have noticed the woman French kissing a rat in the opening of The Lost Boys. I haven't seen The Lost Boys that many times, and it's been a long time since I've seen it. That's so funny, though. thought she was smoking something. And I saw it. That's hilarious. Hey, don't dig at my blanket. Don't dig at my blanket, bud. You're gonna put a hole in it. You can dig on the pillow, but not on the blanket. And you're gonna get your little nails caught in the blanket too, so don't do that. She's like, don't tell me what to do. Ha! Ha! Hey! Quit. You're gonna get your nail stuck and you're gonna rip a hole in it. Please quit. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the Halloween house is nearby too. I've been meaning to go to like the Nightmare on Elm Street house and the Halloween house, and then I was really bummed to realize that Bo Burnham was living in the original Nightmare on Elm Street house, and apparently like he would dress up as Freddy on Halloween and stuff. Like I could have participated in that, and I didn't know. I love Bo Burnham. I would have been giddy to have met A, Bo Burnham, and B, dressed like Freddy Krueger at the Nightmare on Elm Street house. Like that would have been like mind-blowingly awesome. But no. I had to just chill in my house on the east side of LA, not thinking about it, because I didn't feel like driving out here to friggin' hang out at the house. I'm gonna do that. Maybe I'll do that this Halloween. I'll actually go to the Halloween house. Maybe I'll go to the Nightmare on Elm Street house. I don't know. I don't want to deal with the owner. He's a jerk. But the Halloween house, the people at the Halloween house are nice. Like they leave a pumpkin out so you can like do like the sit with the pumpkin that Jamie Lee Curtis does in the movie. They're nice. Like Jamie Lee Curtis's house from Halloween, not Michael Myers' house. Michael Myers' house is a business now. It's like I think it's a law firm, which is ridiculous. But you can still go and take a picture in front of it and everything. And I do have the voices with Ryan Reynolds on my list. I mean, I'm not like the biggest Ryan Reynolds fan. Like, I don't hate him, but I don't really get the hype as much with him. If I had to pick a Ryan from the Ryans, it's Ryan Gosling all the way. It's Goosemans. It's Ryan. It's Ry Goose Goose for me all day long. And what is his Dead Man's Bones? If y'all haven't heard Dead Man's Bones, which is Ryan Gosling's spooky band, get into it. But I do have the voices on my list to watch. I have it like in my queue, but I haven't watched it yet. Hayes is so cute. She is cute. She's cute. She's a menace. She's a menace to society. She's a menace to me. But she's at least cute. She's got cuteness going for her. But man, she's a lot. She's a lot to deal with. Yeah, he mentioned it was a law firm now. Yep. It's so random. Like, what? Why? Again, there is a really cool... there's a really cool little art gallery, like event space that's like right behind it that show like movies that will literally project like movies on the back of the Halloween house. It's really cool. And they have like art show, like horror art shows. Like I've had my art in some of their art shows before. I can't remember what it's called right now, but that's cool. That's a cool little, I think like, I can't remember what I was going to say, but yeah, that's another cool little area right next to the Michael Myers house. Yes, Rai Goose Goose. That's my Ryan. That's my Ryan. If I have to pick a Ryan, Ryan Gosling is my Ryan. Drive. Whew, whew, girl. Dead Man's Bones. Oh man. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready for Dead Man's Bones. If you love spooky. Oh. Good. It's good. Ryan Gosling, wasn't he in Murder by Numbers? Yes, so good. This is a good movie. Bone Collector with Denzel Washington was crazy, and it's not very Halloweeny though. I'm pretty sure I've seen it. Isn't Angelina Jolie in that one too? Or am I making that up? That's awesome. Your art was in the mix. Yeah, I did a piece of, I did an art piece of, Frankenstein's Bride, and then I also did a Shining Twins piece. I think there was another one. There might have been a third one I did. I don't remember. But then I kind of fell off with them because they were like big Depp supporters, and I ain't about that life. Angelina was in the Bone Collector. Good trivia. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. If we're gonna talk about something Angelina's in, I'm gonna bring up Angelina. I feel like, isn't there like a scene where she's like laying in bed and like looking up and like all like the bone pictures and stuff are like hanging on the wall or something? I don't know. I feel like I remember seeing that like, what? Yeah, Maya Hawke, yeah, she does have some music out. Renegade Master, I think Johnny Depp lives over here now. Ugh, sucks be you. No thank you. No thank you. Stay far, far away from me. Creepy, awful man. Oh, it makes me want to listen to Dead Man's Bones now. Oh, it's so good. Like, he needs to get back into his band. I just had Sarah Jessica Parker saying "Dead Man's Toe" in my head from freaking Hocus Pocus. But I was like, "Dead Man's Bones, Dead Man's Bones." Ah. See, another one who I used to be all in mad love with was freaking Depp. Grr. Shake my head. Why do dudes have to mess up? Yeah. I know Depp is wild because, like, his fans really are just so delusional. They're just like, he's so sweet and docile. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, he would never. And it's like, he's got decades of just being a violent POS. Just like, how can you just blatantly ignore how awful he is known to have been for so long? I mean, sure, he's got great PR team, but like, all you gotta do is Google him. Just Google him. It's like, he loves acting like he's like a rock star. He's just like, you know, trying to marry minors and destroying hotel rooms and, you know, just being an all around piece of crap. Amok, amok, amok. Two people I know I'll never get to sign my Elm Street poster. Wes, for obvious reasons, dead. And Johnny, because even if he ever did a con, I wouldn't pay much. How much he'd be asking anyways. Oh yeah, he'd be like, so much money. And for what? And for what? I love how people are always like, oh, you know, Tatum's shirt in Scream is obviously like a throwback, wink wink, to Johnny Depp in Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's not. Because if you know that like the wardrobe for Tatum was like really crappy and Rose McGowan went out and just like bought stuff from the mall and literally built Tatum's entire like wardrobe herself. And I'm like, it was not some like wink wink to Johnny Depp. But people always want to give Johnny Depp some credit he don't deserve. I mean, I hate when dudes be ruining stuff I love. Like, I really loved Crybaby, mostly for Tracy Lords, not for Depp. Mostly Tracy Lords. Tracy Lords is everything in Crybaby, everything. But I did love freaking Edward Scissorhands, and now like that's just ruined. Like I just can't. I can't watch that. Especially knowing him and Winona's shit. It's just gross. Yeah, I've heard Rose say that in Q&As too. Yeah. I just think it's funny how people would just kind of like pull stuff out of their butts and be like, this is what happened. And it's like, girl, no. It's like, why don't you listen to someone who was there for once? Man, user review for Practical Magic, a fun movie despite a few weak points. Girl, get out of here. Get out of here with your weak points. Johnny would be Harrison Ford level pricing, 400 to 500. Bleh. Bleh. I mean, that dude should be in prison, not at cons, getting paid that much money to squiggle. Yikes. I mean, at LA Comic Con, it was wild to see, like, Ewan McGregor and the other dude from Star Wars. What's his name? What is his name? Trying to think of what his name is. Hayden Christensen. Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, their line was so, like, they had like their own like room. It was massive, like, and the line was so long. And I remember telling Jellybean, like, when we got to what we thought was Christina Ricci's line, I was just like, well, at least she's not pulling a Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, because my God, like, I would not be standing in that line. It was so long. It was wild long. And I'm kind of bummed I didn't even see Michael J. Fox. Like, I saw where he would be, but I didn't see him. I was kind of hoping I'd see like more people just like walking up and like just like seeing them. I thought I'd see more, but I really didn't. It was just kind of like all over the place, and things were scattered so much that like you couldn't just kind of like walk in and see stuff and walk around. It was just so massive, and you kind of had to like look up where anybody you wanted to see was, and then traveling to get to that point and like coming back, and it was just a lot. I didn't say Hayden Panettiere was supposed to be there. Panettiere? I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Panettiere? I don't know. American Ultra, I have seen that. It's good. Star Wars fans will practically be throwing their money at them to meet those guys too. I believe it. I believe it. Oh, I guess Kevin Smith was there on Sunday. I didn't go Sunday. But I didn't know that Kevin Smith was... Oh, he was only panel only. So he wasn't doing signings and stuff. And I didn't see Rosario Dawson either because she was on Friday, which kind of sucks. I love her in freaking Death Proof. Death Proof is so good. There's another movie made by a freaking creep. But it was so good. Oh no, Pixie, you kicked yourself out of chat? Owen is a truly amazing actor. He was playing Alec Guinness, playing Obi-Wan Kenobi, and knocking it out of the park. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to watch tonight. Because I was watching Love is Blind. Oh, I guess it is. It's back tonight. So I was like, but I have to wait until Wednesday. It is Wednesday. You just sit more still and you won't fall out. What else was I watching? Oh, I watched the new season of Heartstopper, but I finished that last night. So cute. So wholesome. So realistic about mental health struggles. So good. Highly recommend. Gilmore Girls, obviously. Watching the Gilmore Girls. I saw the pictures of Rosario on the Comic-Con Facebook page. Yeah, missed that one. But I saw that she was on main stage, which makes sense. But I was kind of bummed about main stage because, like, the usual panel scenario is, like, a room with chairs with, like, a big, a table setup. But the main stage is literally just like in the middle of the giant convention floor, and there's no chairs, and it's just standing room only, and it was just like kind of shitty. I'm like, I'd rather just have like a panel room, but I guess they wanted to be able to have as many people have access to it, which I guess is appreciative, but They should have just did like the biggest panel room that they could and have, you know, as many seats as they could. I saw the pictures. She seemed friendly. Yeah. I hope she is. That would have been cool. I mean, I've already said it, but I did love her in Death Proof. Her and them bangs, she'd have them bangs all the time. She looks so good with her bangs. I mean, I say that. I'm biased, but still. I have bang bias. Got the bang bias. Oh, Jellybean hooked me up with some custom Sims stuff, which I haven't even really looked at because it's overwhelming. Is overwhelming. You forgot she was in that? Woo! How can you forget that? Her and Rose McGowan? Rose McGowan with the blonde hair? Wow. I mean, that last scene of Death Proof, oh, it's cathartic. I'm telling you what. Catharsis. So good. I want to watch that now. I want to watch all the things. Have time for all the things. And dudes have the audacity to be like, that, to think that Death Proof is like Quentin Tarantino's worst movie. Like, I swear, that's just misogyny. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. Because that movie is so good. Like, y'all have to hate women to not like that movie. God forbid you have to watch women talk. God forbid. God forbid. They're like, oh, there's too much talking. Like, shut up. You shut up. You're the too much talking. If anyone's talking too much, it's you. About how there's too much talking. Yeah, I prefer Death Proof to Planet Terror 2. Even though Rose McGowan is sick in Planet Terror, like, killing it, killing the game. As a whole, Death Proof. Death Proof all the way. Plus, it's like, ugh, that's how you know it's misogyny, because like really, like, Death Proof is giving so much. Like, it's giving so much for the men's. Like, I don't understand, if you're a straight man, how Death Proof isn't like up there for you. Like, Mary Elizabeth Winstead in that cheerleader costume. I mean, all the girlies are given. All the girlies are given in that movie. Oh my God. Like, like, so my girl dream. Now I gotta watch that movie now. Oh my God. I'm gonna look that one up on IMDb. Where is that one playing right now? I'm pretty sure I have it on DVD. Man, that movie came out the year I graduated high school, bro. Oh, it's on Freevee. It's on Prime. Grindhouse. I do love the fact that Grindhouse had the fake trailers that ended up turning into real movies, like Machete and Thanksgiving. Like, that's sick. I haven't watched it in a long time either. I feel like I definitely haven't watched Planet Terror in a while. I know I've watched Death Proof at some point more recently, but it's still been years. I think maybe like I caught it when it was like on some channel at some point when I was still watching like cable-ish. um, like if I was watching Sling TV or something, some sort of app that was like cable. That's probably the last time I watched it. All about Death Proof. I'll likely watch it immediately before I get to meet Rose one day because I kind of feel bad about getting my Scream poster signed. Yeah. I know, that's so rough, isn't it? Like, I'd like to think that she does. I think she does love Scream because, I'm pretty sure the shit that happened to her happened after the fact. Like, she was already filmed it. Like, but yeah, like, it's rough. It's rough. It's definitely rough. And I would probably feel a way about it too. But I think she does love Tatum. And I would just try to kind of like remind myself of that and I don't know, potentially say something about it, but maybe not. I don't know, right? Like it's like, you know, do you not like being reminded of Scream because of the obvious, or is it okay? Or Death Proof is definitely winning my vote. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be a good watch. Even though I feel so bad about Rose McGowan and Death Proof. Like Rose McGowan gets it so bad, and it's just so sad. Like I kind of wish that Rose McGowan was in the girly group at the end. I really do. Like, why does she have to be the one in the beginning? Why does she have to be the Drew Barrymore in the beginning? Is it on Prime? Yeah, it's on Prime Video. She looks so good with that blonde hair. So good. Like, she needs to be blonde more often. I feel like her Death Proof hair is better than Tatum's hair. Like, Tatum's hair is good too. I guess they're kind of similar. I guess Tatum's hair is like a little bit more like. There's like an oranginess in there. Whereas the Death Proof blonde is very blonde. It's like white blonde. Yeah, the horror like thing that I want to go to that has like the the backdrops for like photo ops, they have a Scream one where like Tatum's body is like in the garage door and you like can take your picture. I want to go so bad. I know she's happy to sign Scream stuff, but I still feel bad. Yeah, I don't blame you. I will get both to feel better about myself. Yeah. I find it so wild, like, have you seen Scream 3? I feel like Scream 3 is so funny because it feels almost like Scream 3 is like calling Weinstein out in his own production. like I don't know if that was on purpose, but it feels pointed. It feels very pointed. I think Tatum would be such a good Halloween costume too. I would need a blonde wig. I would need a blonde wig. A short blonde wig. I just found the freaking the here. The tweet that someone is pointing out. Like, is this a coincidence? I was today years old when whoever taught me that Tatum's jersey outfit in Scream is a homage to Glenn in the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, no, it's not. It's not actually. Actually, it's not. You're not today years old. You're today years old when someone lied to you. Yeah, that Scream 3 scene with Lance plays really weird now, right? Like, the whole thing, it talks about, like, the casting couch and, you know, well, she wants it and, it, you know, for her career, and she knew, and the parties, and, like, they were calling his ass out in his own production. They put his damn name on that and called him out. I was just like, period. Period. I love all the Scream movies. Me too. Me too. I don't know how I feel about the newest one though. Don't feel good about it. Don't feel good about it. I mean, I'm glad they're at least paying Nev what she deserves, but mainly just to keep Marissa off. So don't love it. Not liking that. Alright guys, well, it's coming up on 8 o'clock here, and I think I'm gonna end the stream. Potentially go watch me some Death Proof or Idle Hands or Practical Magic, or maybe I'll watch them all. I don't know, like, oh, to be alive in October, to just be happy in October, lovely, beautiful, amazing October. Just fills me with all the joy, reminds me why I love being human. Yeah. And I'll see you guys on Friday for maybe some Faz. Maybe some Faz. Or Gilmore Girls. Yeah, I mean, Gilmore Girls is definitely going to be happening, like, before bed. Like, I love watching Gilmore Girls on my projector in my bed. Kevin Williamson, who wrote part 1 and 3, is directing the next one. I'm cautiously optimistic. The guy's a genius. Yeah, I mean, they know what they're doing, bringing Kevin back. I mean, but still, I feel like they're doing it at odds with other things that they're doing that are not okay. And I feel like they're like, but we're making up for it because we got Nev and we got Kevin, right? Right? You'll come and see it, right? But yeah, I'll see you guys Friday for another horror-y game live stream. Yeah. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I had fun. And make sure to vote in the Wednesday poll so I know what I'm doing next week. Good night, everybody. Bye.